Hey, this is Ravi from PowerBIFox.com. Welcome to DAX Days. DAX Days is a series which is dedicated to sharing knowledge about the DAX functions and Power Query and other DAX stuff. PowerBIFox.com is a new website which is into diffusion of knowledge about DAX, Power Pivot, and other things in Microsoft Excel's Power Suite. So my name is Ravi Kamana. I am from India, and in this video we are uh, trying to learn a function called SUMX. So let's jump into that. Before we jump into the real action, just try to spend some few moments about understanding the overview of the function. So let's jump into that. So SUMX is a next version of function with the two parameters. Basically, it is a function which will just it is an aggregator function basically, but it is an iterator function. Uh, it iterates over. It's one of the iterator function like count x, max x, sum x, average x kind of thing. It takes two parameters, as I said, that is number one, a table, number two, an expression to evaluate. So, how it behaves if I give the two parameters in my formula? Number one, it creates a row context in the given table. Number two, it runs through all of the rows of the table and evaluates the expression at the each row level. Then it aggregates all the values in the expression. Next, where I can use, in which context I can use this function. Number one, when you don't have any sales line total in your data model. That means when you don't have a dedicated uh, uh, calculated column in your data model which will give you a sales figure, you will use SUMX function. Number two, even if you have a sales line total in your data model, you can still use this, but in a different way. Number three, when you don't want to use a calculated column, because calculated columns are um, heavyweight on the memory side, so uh, you'll be using the SUMX functions because it is lightweight in the memory side. Okay, so let's jump into the action. I'll take a small database. It is having some lookup tables like product, calendar, employees, geography, and other things. But I want to write a small function, a small calculated column, which will give me sales figure. So take fact sales, that is the fact table here. So right click, take a column because I want to use a calculated column. So I will give a name called sales line total, and I simply multiply the unit price times sales quantity in the data model. So the fact table I'll be taking for that is fact sales, and in that sales quantity, that means this times fact tables unit price, that means this. So just press enter. Okay, I think it is calculated. This is the one. So if I keep it here, table actually, just give me some time to adjust these font sizes so that we can see it clearly. Once again, values. Also headers. Okay, so it doesn't have any context now. It is showing me the total figure in an isolated way. So have some context like take something from the product table, that means brand or something like this, and go here. Yeah. So though we use different kind of functions like SUMX, sum, and calculate column, all of the things will be giving you the same sales figures here. So be ready for that. And now uh, to use this, I should write a sum function because I can't use any naked columns in the data model to show the sales figure. So I write a measure which is sales sum of sales, because I'm using sum function, so we'll call it sum sales. So sum of sales line total, that is the calculate column that I'm going to take a sum. So just add that. And this is also giving the same sales figure. So now instead of writing a calculated column and using a sum function to aggregate that, we can use a SUMX function here directly, because we can avoid two steps here. Also, there is a bad practice of using the calculated columns because it is memory sensitive. So let's write a SUMX function here. So right click, new measure. I call this as a SUMX sales. So SUMX, obviously it will be asking you table and expression. The table I'll be giving is factuals, and the expression will be columns from the fact table, that is fact table sales sales quantity, that means this, and fact tables unit price, right? So press enter, everything looks nice. It is taking time because it is having almost 34 lakhs of records in this database. So 1 second. SUMX sales, just keep this here so that it will give you the same sales figures. But the only difference that among all these things is that memory side, both calculated column and sum will be using a lot of memory. So we'll be obviously going for SUMX function here to get sales figures from the data model. So this is how SUMX function works. It iterates, basically it iterates the entire table that we're given and checks each row, and it evaluates the expression at each row's level, and then finally it aggregates all the values. So this is how SUMX function works. I hope you understand this, and please comment below and click the subscribe button to encourage me for more videos. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your time.